First and second rules of meetings. First rule, start on time. Second rule, finish on time or early. I'm Tom Whitaker. Welcome to the 2022 annual meeting. And I'm happy to see those of you here in person, and to all of you at home or in the office on the Zoom. Thanks for attending as well. We really hope next year to be doing this in person and be able to shake hands mask-free. But in the meantime, at least for all of us here, please continue to wear your masks. So some announcements first. The board, would really like to acknowledge and thank our meeting chairs. That's Laura Neff and Jason Showmaker on the ENT side, and Aaron Stahl and Mary Champion on the ophthalmology side. Signing up to do this and going through scheduling the speakers, the talks, is not easy, and it's a lot of work, and it's made even worse this year by the exigencies of COVID. So please join me in congratulating them and expressing our gratitude for their hard work. That was really something. Second, on behalf of the Society, we are very grateful to our speakers, whether in person or virtual, for taking time from their busy schedules and practices to share their expertise with us here. We're very grateful for their generosity and join me again for honoring them. Last, I'd like to thank Todd, Lauren, and all of InMed for steering us through yet another challenging year. Those guys are the reasons almost always behind the scenes. They're doing the hard work of arranging the space, scheduling the speakers, making the travel and Zoom arrangements, signing up the exhibitors, recording the CME credits. In short, everything that allows us to sit here and listen or watch on Zoom to our great speakers. Thank you, Todd, Lauren, and all of InMed. We got a number of things to talk about. First, I'm supposed to tell you about what's gone on this year. Much like last year, it's been interesting, but we've carried on the tradition of the Society with education and fellowship for our members. Although it was entirely virtual, the 2021 meeting was a success, and just as a reminder, all those talks are still available on our website for CME. This last fall, we restarted in-person journal clubs with a kickoff presentation by Ravi Singh. You'll hear more about these shortly when Dr. Hickman comes up here and speaks. We said farewell to a good board member, Matt Snigowski, and I want personally and on behalf of the board to thank Matt for his tireless efforts as the journal club coordinator and for his efforts on the board. In his stead, we welcomed Scott Hickman to replace him in that same position that Matt resigned from. So Matt, thank you. I hope you're watching, because we really appreciate what you did for us. We've restarted a nominations committee for new board members, leading to the election of Abe White as the newest ophthalmology member of the board, taking my position. Abe can't be here because he and his family are ill with the virus. This year, we discovered a treasure trove of past Society records that had been lost by our former management team. This included an original recording of Hal Foster giving a special message to the Society. This was a record that was used or recorded using a cactus needle as the phonograph needle, so it's very old. We had that analog recording digitized, and we're sharing it with the American Academy of Ophthalmology, who are very, very interested in getting an original speech by Dr. Foster. Some of you may have heard pieces of it. We're going to post the digitized version on the website as well. And Scott Hickman and Bill Godfrey have volunteered to review and go through this just unbelievable amount of materials that we discovered. We've asked a committee of past presidents also to look at options for us for our banking business investments of the Society's funds. You'll hear about those funds later. We hope to make some movements in that direction shortly. On the list of things to do, we're going to look at alternative sites for this meeting. We're going to try to update and upgrade our web presence and hopefully some other things that you'll hear about later. So I'm going to ask Dr. Ersick to come up here, and Joe's going to give us a brief overview of the treasurer's report and the secretary report. Joe, thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for attending again. It's my job to go over basically some numbers here. So in 2021, we had a total of 140 society members and about 160 people total who viewed the virtual meetings last year. This year, our total society members have dropped a bit. We're at 100. The new members of 2021, and I think we have to ask for approval, if I'm not mistaken, and please forgive me if I mispronounce anyone's name, but we have 4 new members. One is Kristen Biggerstaff. Is she here? Great. And then Kathleen, is it Quaidar? Am I saying that correctly? Not here? Okay. Jason May and Yang Cam. And then could I get a motion to
So moved.
accept? And a second? And everybody approve, yay or nay? Yay. All right, perfect, excellent. And the financials for the year, like Dr. Whitaker was saying, our total assets at this point are $128,343, and we have no liabilities. So we're in a good position. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Scott? Next, we've got Dr. Hickman, who is signed on in Matt Snikowski's stead. He's going to talk to us about Journal Club and a new Journal Club coordinator.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to share some Journal Club memories briefly with you when I was a resident. It's one of the funner things I did in residency was go to the Journal Club and all the fancy country clubs and restaurants. A lot of times I would show up a little bit late and the cool kid resident table was already filled, and I'd have to go sit somewhere else, and I'd sit next to a stranger, a young Dr. Kavanaugh or a Dr. Moyes, and they would tell me about their practice. So it's good to move around a little bit if you go to Journal Club and sit next to somebody you don't know. We've had a lot of support from Journal Club over the last 2 years, both for the virtual and in-person events. And we'd like to thank our very accommodating speakers. COVID really offered some challenges that Todd and Lauren really met with a great attitude. So if you see them, please thank them for that. It also offered some nice opportunities to get some virtual speakers in Dr. Chang, Dr. Mamalis, Dr. Osher. I think that would be tough to get those guys out to Kansas City on a Wednesday night. We do about 4 Journal Clubs a year, and we usually get about 30 people showing up. Hopefully next year that will go up as COVID hopefully will recede. So Dr. Ravi Singh, my friend, is going to be taking over as the Journal Club coordinator. He seems pretty pumped about doing it. As you know, Ravi is a partner at the Retina Associates, did his retinal fellowship at Wisconsin and residency at Penn State. And he just sent me over his CV, and he's the examiner for the oral boards now, which is great. But Ravi's really excited about the Journal Club next year. So thank you.
Before confirming the new board members, it's my great pleasure to present the Hal Foster Award for this year. The 2022 Hal Foster honoree is not a local guy, and he could best be described as peripatetic, a traveling man. He was born at Emory University Hospital in Georgia and grew up in Starkville, Mississippi, but soon started traveling. He obtained his undergraduate degree at Millsaps College in Jackson, Mississippi in 1970. He also managed to meet and court a lovely young woman from Vicksburg, Mississippi, his beloved Emily, whom he married on August 29, 1970. Medical school at Vanderbilt started 3 or 4 days after his wedding. He enlisted in the U.S. Navy in 1971, finished medical school in 1974, and began his career in the Navy, finishing his internship and residency in the Navy Ophthalmology program in 1979. He went on to do a cornea anterior segment fellowship at Baylor Med in Houston from 1982 through 1984. And after finishing his fellowship, he served as chair of the Department of Ophthalmology and head of the cornea service at Balboa Naval Hospital in San Diego from 1984 through 1993. He retired from the Navy in September 1993 at the rank of captain, and then joined the faculty at the University of Iowa from 1993 to 2006, serving as director of the Cornea External Disease Service at the rank of professor. During this time, he and Emily raised 3 wonderful children, Amanda, Rhett, and Grant. In 2006, he talked Emily into moving here to Kansas City to become the 7th chair of the KU Department of Ophthalmology. He's grown the department from a small on-campus department of 2 ophthalmologists to its current size of 13 faculty ophthalmologists, 2 optometrists, 1 orthoptist, in an off-campus office with 30 lanes, an optical shop, a minor OR, plus a 2 operating room ASC and laser suite, plus an on-campus small 3-lane office with optical. Under his leadership, the KU residency programs graduated 47 residents, many of whom practice not only in our 2 states, but in 39 of the 50 states. Our honoree today is the longest serving chair of the KU Department of Ophthalmology, who is not named Lemoyne. He's been a member of this society since moving to town, attending the journal clubs, participating in and leading the annual meetings, and serving in every position on this board from 2014 to 2018. While a member of that board, he helped change the management to its current leadership position with InMed, and he's continued to serve this board in various special committees. He's volunteered for years with the American Board of Ophthalmology as an examiner and test writer, was appointed a director of the board in 2008, later serving as vice chair in 2014 and chair of the board in 2015. Many of you here have either seen him while doing your oral boards or while serving as one of the many oral boards examiners whom he's talked into volunteering for the ABO. He has served organized ophthalmology and medicine in general in various regional, national, and international societies, meetings, and associations, including AAO, ARVO, AUPO, KCSOO, among many, many others. His academic career is no less astounding. His CV documents 24 pages of peer-reviewed publications, invited lectures, papers, and presentations since his fellowship. I'm not going to bore you or tax your patience going over all of them. In summary, in tribute to over 50 years of service to ophthalmology, to medicine, and to this society, precisely the ideals embodied by Dr. Hal Foster. It's my honor to present to you the 2022 Hal Foster honoree, John E. Sutphin, Jr., MD. No, you're on your own there, bud. And it's sharp, so be careful.
Thank you. Well, I don't recognize that person he's talking about, but it's a pleasure to be here today. I want to acknowledge this award in the spirit in which it's intended. My knowledge about Hal Foster is similar to yours. I regard him as one of the founders of the American Academy of Ophthalmology and Otolaryngology, because he really practiced ENT more than I. At that time of the turn of the century, the 19th to the 20th, the two were together, but there was really a very small eye presence. When I became a resident, the two societies became, or the one society became 2, And I actually, my first attendance with the American Academy of Ophthalmology was the year, I think, after they divided. So my feeling about this reward is very positive. It is a real honor, and I'm glad that Tom's already written my obituary. It'll save somebody some time down the road. I want to acknowledge receiving it. I want to thank Tom and the board for the honor to give it to me, and I am still available to volunteer as needed. Thank you very much.
Just a few more housekeeping matters. We need to confirm the new board members, and Jill, why don't you come on up? The new board members are going to be led by Jill Argenbright, Joseph Ursick, Scott Hickman, and the newest board member who's not here, Abe White. The membership needs to confirm them, and I assume if it's okay with you all, we'll just do it by affirmation or by saying, anybody opposed? All in favor? Aye. Jill, congratulations.
Is there something to put the gavel that we do?
No,
Or you?
yeah, you can go help yourself.
That's supposed to be you.
Oh, yeah.
Am I supposed to give it
Yeah.
to you? Oh, okay, sorry. So thank you for this opportunity to be on the board and upcoming president. I wanted to thank Dr. Whitaker, and on behalf of the society, you know, this has been a challenging year with many twists and turns, and I thank you for your ardent support and the leadership of this society over the years, and particularly in this past year. Very well deserved. He had put in so much effort into this meeting, and despite so many changes, even in the last months, weeks, and days, he's been our fearless leader through all of this. So many thanks to him. Goes to you.
Yeah, that's the weapon.
And in honor of your service to the society, you are given the gavel.
Okay, you get to hit it to close the meeting.
Oh, I do. Okay. Well, before I close, I also just wanted to thank the board for their efforts this year. And again, a special thanks to the program chairs, Dr. Neff, Dr. Showmaker, Dr. Stahl, Dr. Champion. And we certainly appreciate all the juggling you guys have done recently and putting on such a fabulous show today. So, and I sincerely do appreciate the opportunity to lead this historic society and look forward to continuing its strong tradition. And I hope everybody enjoys the rest of this meeting. We're officially closed.
Thank you.
I was not.